Here.
Andrew Rogers is building a chain of massive stone sculptures around the world. Andrew has a vision to create one of the largest contemporary land art projects on Earth. Using the elements of the Earth to reach back into memory, this Rhythms of Life project will involve over 5,000 people on 6 continents.
So far, we've worked in Israel, Chile, Bolivia, Sri Lanka, Iceland, and Australia.
The next challenge is India. Here on a hill in Rajasthan, international sculptor Andrew Rogers is looking for a location.
So this is a great site because it's elevated.
He and his team are building the next 2 giant rock sculptures in his worldwide Rhythms of Life series. Located in northwestern India, the capital of Rajasthan is Jaipur, known as the Pink City, the city built by Maharajas in the desert.
India is always exotic for me. Colour and energy are exciting. It's full of history, but it's also full of contradictions. Ancient, modern, fast and slow.
Before he can start building, Andrew needs to travel to the nearby village of Jobna to meet the locals and choose sites. Above Jobna is a steep hill topped by ancient forts that once belonged to the Maharajas. This is where Andrew will build his massive sculptures.
The mountains we're on, probably one of the oldest sets of mountains in the world. They used to be as high as the Himalayas, or the Himalayas, and over time they've been weathered down. And this is a very beautiful area looking over a very densely populated agricultural plain. And up above us you can see a wonderful fort that's about 400 years old. And below us you can see a temple that's been abandoned because the people had a fight with the gods. So it's got lots of interest.
And this rediscovery of an artist who comes all this distance and wants to make something that can be left for the town or the village, it will be something really special. I'm sure as the word of mouth will continue and people will know that somebody dared to build here.
I've been creating earth art for some years now. My collections of geoglyphs, they're contemporary in form and they're of the moment, although they reach back in history. They're giant metaphors for history and the past, because I always say without memory, we are nothing.
Like most villages in India, Jobna is a village with a vibrant community life. It's in a beautiful area that's dominated by the hill. But they've never had someone build large contemporary sculptures out of rock there before. Before he can start building, Andrew needs to go over the detailed plans with the village elders. It's a very new idea for the village, and they want to understand exactly what will be involved.
Pleased to meet you. You know I come from Australia. So you know Australia is very good at cricket. Yes? But we also have very good sculptors.
Andrew has worked with many communities around the world, consulting with them and valuing their input. He shows them some examples from projects in other countries.
This is in Sri Lanka. This is the sign of the Sinhalese people. It's a line. Yes.
मतलब अच्छा है इसमें अच्छा हो जाएगा आराम से बढ़िया काम बन जाएगा बिल्कुल संभव है ये काम होना ये संभव नहीं है
The next day, Andrew looks for a site for his first sculpture called Ratio. Up above the village is a small local temple, and on the way to the temple is a fort, which catches Andrew's eye.
What about this area on top of the hill there? See? This is absolutely spectacular. And I think here is a wonderful site for ratio.
The next day, work on ratio begins, and the local women start carrying up the cement and sand they'll need for the sculpture, using the pathway to the temple as the best point of access. Everything they need must be carried up by hand. Andrew has only 1 week to build ratio before he has to start his much bigger work, the rhythms of life. The sculpture ratio will be a series of stone steps, and their proportions will represent the Fibonacci sequence of numbers.
1, 2, 3, 5 and 8. The steps will start here at 0, 0 and they'll rise up to 8 metres.
Andrew has built ratio before in Sri Lanka. Fibonacci sequences demonstrate many shapes in nature, such as the spiral of a shell or the uncurling of a fern.
So all of this here, it's very appropriate because you'll see that temple's got a wonderful platform rising up to it. It's ascending to the temple, and this is also, it's about going up, and it's a concept of infinity.
The Hindu temple above the fort is called Jwala Mata Kamandir, or the Temple of the Goddess of Fire. Wedding parties come here to make sure that they'll have plenty of children, and many families make pilgrimages to pray for fertility. Once a year, thousands gather here for the festival of Navratri, which honours Jwala, or the Lady of Fire, who is one of the 9 forms of the Mother Goddess.